Okay, good morning, Branko. Maybe you can introduce yourself to our audience and tell us who you are, what you do, where you came from, a little bit about your background story as well.
Well, good morning. First of all, thank you so much for having me here with you. Very honored and excited to be here. My name is Branko Teodorovic, originally from Serbia, however, coming from New York, where I've been living for the past about 5, 6 years. I'm a professional fitness competitor. I've been competing inside World Fitness Federation as a professional athlete for about 5 years, which kind of follows my move to New York City. And besides that, I'm the owner of Body Couture by Branko. It is a private boutique type wellness company out of New York City, which focuses on customization, on unique approach towards our clients when it comes to training, when it comes to dieting, when it comes to, so we look at it at the whole thing. So basically it's a one-stop shop for our fitness clients, mostly women that work with us from New York City and international.
So you originally were not a fitness professional. You went to the US to study.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your back history as well.
So originally I came to US to study. You said it quite well. I had a full scholarship to run track. I ran track when I was in high school in Serbia. Came to US and then stayed for grad school and then stayed on. So I've been living there for the last 20 years.
So you're an athlete. First of all, you're an athlete. You were in a track and field. What happened to that career? Why did you stop from track and field and get into fitness instead?
That's a great question. So I ran ever since I was, I don't even know, like 9 or 10. All the way through college, ran for Serbia national team, and then had a really bad back injury 3 years into college. So I barely finished my college career, and then after that, had to take some time off. And then slowly, the only really reason I could do out of physical therapy was to start lifting weights. So that actually helped me get back on my feet, not just to look better, but first of all to be able to function in everyday living. So it took me about a year until I was able to actually do something with weights. But then one thing led to another. When you're a competitor, pretty soon I started getting into a little more serious training, and then later on to competing.
So fitness was not your first thing. Track and field was your first thing.
Yeah, they kind of go hand in hand.
Right.
A little bit different type of training, but I have been in training ever since, like I told you, since I was a kid, since I pretty much remember.
Okay. In the fitness field, you're kind of a champion, multiple champion actually. Maybe you can elaborate a bit more about that, your achievements as well.
Yeah, so I have won last 3 professional world championships in beach model category. Unfortunately, in 2020 and 21, there were no world championships, obviously due to COVID. But so I won in 17, 18, and 19, and then finally this year we will have both world championships and Miss Universe show that it's coming up in July in Thailand. So yes, fitness industry has been um, very. I'm very thankful. It has been. I gained great success not just for competing, but also because of my business. So I'm very grateful to be part of it. I'm 41, but I still think I have a lot to give. Hopefully, a few more seasons in me. So as long as I can be on that pro stage with the rest of the guys who are, I'm not going to say much younger, but younger than me, I'm definitely going to be there.
Okay, you develop a very nice body and everything. How long did it take you to get there, to where you are today?
Well, pretty much my entire life. Training for track. It's not much different. Obviously, due to amount of running, simply not just cardio, but hardcore running. It is very difficult to carry a lot of muscle mass. But I believe that I always had a nice, balanced, proportion, aesthetic type of body. Some of the principles that later carried on into fitness, and then later on when I became a coach, the way I coach my athletes and my clients in general. So yeah, to me it's all about aesthetics. Without it, it's not worth it. So it's not about size or anything like that, but just like you said, to develop a good looking body, that will look equally as good on the beach or a person is clothed, because it's obvious
Okay.
when someone is in shape, right?
Okay. Three championships, world championships, pro championships. Uh, you consider probably a celebrity in the fitness world. Uh, what brings you to Malaysia?
Why? Thank you, but I don't really see it like that. I try to stay humble. I try to respect my process, and what I mean by that, my training, my eating, and I can tell you I'm any bit as hungry as when I was starting. So when I'm in New York, obviously in my everyday routine, I get up very early, take care of my training first, take care of my meals, then work with clients daily. So I never forgot that. And the day I do, it's probably going to be the day I stop doing this, at least on the highest level. So then Malaysia, well, wow, so happy to be here. It's been these first few days been an amazing experience, but I can tell you totally different for me from the Western world. I'm very impressed, very impressed with the city, what I've seen so far. I like it a lot, so hopefully there will be more and more opportunities to come here and develop my business, which is basically what brings me here. Um, I see Malaysia and Southeast Asian market in general as the not just most emerging anymore. It surpassed that level, I believe, and you can see it inside our federations. The best competitions are in Southeast Asia. The most competitors come from Southeast Asia. The best quality comes from Southeast Asia, just because two things: one, investment into fitness industry, and then two, the numbers, right? I can tell you that in Serbia we don't have even nearly what's happening here, and that's why we don't have a lot of competitors. Obviously, few, and Europe in general. It's in my opinion, it's a thing of the past, and I believe that future belongs here. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to expand my business and hopefully have be more and more present. First of all in Malaysia, and then later on in other countries of Southeast Asia.
Maybe you can expand on your business. What is actually your business?
So I'm really glad you asked that. So Body Couture is, like I said at the beginning, it's a company that provides boutique, unique type approach to our clients. And what I mean by that we cater each one of our clients individually with a unique proprietary plan of action. So obviously, very tedious type work, takes a lot of time, but to be honest with you, it is the only way for me to do this. I don't believe in cookie cutter type plans. I'm going to write something, I'm going to write this glute workout, and then I'm going to try to sell it to a million people. Well, each one of us is unique. Each one of us has different sets of strengths, injuries, limitations, etc. And in my opinion, needs to be approached as such. So my idea was to bring Body Couture here to Malaysia. I've been working closely with Dr. Deborah Chong, who is the director of Supermodel Borneo, for Borneo. In the US, mainly New York, I have been working with a lot of supermodels, as a matter of fact. I have been working with a lot of professional bikini competitors on every level. So a lot of lifestyle clients. So idea is to bring that trend here to Malaysia and to start having that approach with Malaysian clients as well. So obviously, depending on my presence here, but our online platform has been very popular. Online platform caters everyone individually, so everyone's plan is written on individual basis. It's supported with videos of the exercises. It's supported with the complete meal plan, with some weekly check-ins, so we can see where the client is at every stage of the progress. So basically, that's what I'm doing here. Probably the major reason. So far so good. We'll see. We just started just being here for a few days, but like I told you at the beginning, it's been a great experience.
So who would your potential clients be in Malaysia or even Southeast Asia, and what can they expect from your program?
Well, besides, as called it pageantry or competitive bikini, um, I have been very successful with lifestyle clients, as I like to call them. So, really women of any age, but mostly middle age, who would like to continue looking great as they did maybe in their 20s and 30s. 40s and 50s now, and literally 20 or 30. As age limits are moving, I have several ladies who are well into their 50s and 60s and still look phenomenal, probably much better than most 20-year-olds that you would see on the beach. So, big message is not just to look good, but empowering these women, that they can get out there, that they could start exercising. The biggest problem, I don't know the stats in Asia, but the biggest problem in America why women do not train is because they're afraid, basically too intimidated to go to the gym. Just because their starting point is, in their opinion, so bad that they would be embarrassed to go in front of other people and start exercising. So those are some myths, prejudice that I would try to break, because we all have to start somewhere, regardless. And trust me, all of us who do this, we're all so self-conscious and our own biggest critics, and all of us would have things to change. So you're not alone there. We all feel that way, but it's important to start, to know where you're going, and to have a good checkings along the way to adjust that process so it turns out into the results that you were hoping when you started.
You were telling me much earlier that a lot of celebrities who go to events also do these kind of programs before they even actually put on don a designer dress and go to the event. So will such things be suitable for Malaysia and Southeast Asia as well?
Yes, so
Do you
there
feel
are.
there's a market?
Yeah, definitely. There is quite a bit of a market, and I'm super proud of my portion of the business that goes along where a lot of ladies who attend events, who attend galas, will actually train for them and train for them hard. But my biggest idea was always, through that preparation for that one single event, to get them so this type of training to become their new lifestyle. Because when it does, then for the next event they really won't have to prepare too much, because they're already going to be looking pretty close the way they would like to look. So yes, as you said, it is a big industry between all the stylists and hair, makeup, gowns, training that goes into it. So that's also something that I would like to introduce here. That's something also that we do. And if you check out some of my social media, you can see a lot of material there of a lot of different ladies. Again, different age ranges, different occupation, that are successfully doing that and looking super, super good.
Okay, you are here in Malaysia, exploring Malaysia, and probably going to explore the rest of Southeast Asia. What do you think the potential for your business is in this area? Is it a huge industry for you in Southeast Asia and Asia in general as well?
I believe so. The things that I've seen here, I really believe that it's truly unlimited. Problem, I'm not going to say problem, but the challenge that we're going to have is that I'm a custom shoemaker. I make one shoe at a time, so one body at a time. So being able to scale my business has been a challenge from a get-go, because personally I can handle so many, but once it becomes bigger than that number. But so far we have been successful. I have 3 trainers on my staff. We all work together. I design plans most of the time, but then trainers do the management part of it. So it's been a challenge, but we're facing one by one. We have the infrastructure, we have the manpower, we have the platform to host quite a bit more. So that's the reason why I'm here. But back to your question, I think the opportunity is unbelievable here.
Okay, I understand you're developing an app as well, an online way of transmitting or broadcasting your product services to Malaysians.
Yes, so I'm glad you brought it up, since I forgot to say. Yes, so when we're talking about the online part of the platform, it is the app, and you can find it on www.branko.nyc for New York City. where the sign-up sheet is. But again, it is not an app where one can go and kind of browse and see what's going on. App is strictly designed for custom building of training programs and meals. So once we have an interview with the client, client sends an inquiry on a website. After that, once we get information, we'll set up the interview. Usually it's my business manager and me that will conduct the interview. And once we see that we're fit for each other, because let's face it, not everyone is going to be our fit, and vice versa. But if we are a fit for each other, then we will give client access to the app where the client will be able to find their own personalized plan along with everything else. So on their page, client would be able to see all of their training that they have done so far, every single plan, all of their meals, nutrients. So for example, meal plan will also have on the side what nutrients they're missing and how we're going to fulfill those gaps. All the progress photos are there, so really everything that concerns our work together is in one place. It's easily downloadable on any phone, on any smart device, and also, just like I mentioned at the beginning, once the client goes to train, they can easily pull up that workout and go through it through my explanations and also by demonstrational videos, and to do exactly what was assigned for that day. Also, there's a messenger as a part of an app, so if you're in it and you have a quick question for me or one of the members of our staff, you can easily shoot us a quick text, and someone is always there on the other side to respond.
Although you're focused on your business right now, I understand you're still competing. What's the next competition?
Yeah, I'm doing it all at the same time. Next competition, European Championships in Germany, June 11th, and then after that, closely followed by Mr. Universe competition in Bangkok on July 16th and 17th. So that's coming up. So that will be the first part of the season. But then again, just like you said, managing the business, competing, having one-on-one clients in New York, writing plans, it's quite challenging, and to be honest with you, it's taking all of my time, but I'm blessed to be in that situation. I wouldn't really change it to be any other way around.
How do you expect to do in your European Championships and also in Thailand?
Well, I won last two, so I better win this one. Well, I can tell you, I never got myself ready or any of my athletes ready to be second, so I always take the same approach. Fitness is it's a non-contact sport, right? So we don't have any control over how the other contestants are going to look. Kind of like pageants, right? I mean, you're standing there and you bring your best, so same here. We train, we prepare ourselves, and hopefully, that will be judged a little bit better than the competition, so we can win. But yeah, no point of stressing something that we don't have any control out of. I just focus on my own. I know the look, type of conditioning that I would like to bring, so that's where my focus is. So always preparing to win, but hopefully we'll see.
How long does it take you to prepare for competitions such as the World Championship?
Oh, that's a good question, because traditionally it takes 12 to 16 weeks of a traditional preparation time. I don't really do it that way. Yesterday I visited a sweat spa, and to be honest with you, I had no idea, for example, what my body fat percentage is. I mean, I traveled, I had a few meals here and there, and it was in 3% range. So that's show ready. I mean, anyone who's done this. So I try to be lean and conditioned year round, and then a little bit before contest, of course, I tighten up just to look show ready and to give the judges what they want to see up there. But I believe that I'm the walking billboard of my own business. So if I don't look the par, it would be very difficult to ask someone to do things that I'm not doing. So I'm known when I travel with my athletes to eat exactly the same as they have to eat right before the show. I get up as early, if not earlier, than any of them. All the exercises, sometimes girls will tell me, well, you don't have to do all this stuff for glutes. Well, I've done them all, and in most cases I can still do better than most women. So I'm truly, I practice what I preach. I think it's very, very important. So to me, not something I recommend, but I try to be there pretty close to competition shape all year round. It's not easy. I carry my meals everywhere. It's a pain, but it's the only way actually it can be done.
Okay, any special message to Malaysians who are interested in fitness and also to other Southeast Asians? What should they do or what should they prepare for?
Well, obviously Malaysians in Southeast Asia is doing a wonderful job already. Uh, when I say that, saying in a way of a competitive world, I haven't been here long enough to see the real lifestyle clients. Um, I have been doing this long enough, so messages reach out, see what we have to offer. It is a truly unique platform. I know what's out there, but we really take care of every possible detail of this. I'm a perfectionist. That's how I compete. That's how I live. That's how I conduct my business. So check out what we have to offer. It's a free consultation. Let's see if we're fit for each other, and then let's get to work to achieve whatever you would like to achieve out there.
So how do people contact you, reach you? Maybe a website, Facebook page? Or
Yeah, so everyone is free to contact via social media. On both social media, I'm under Branko Teodorovic, so my first and last name. Instagram is Branko_Teodorovic. However, on www.branko, BRANKO.NYC for New York City, that is our website where you can find an inquiry form. Again, no commitment, it doesn't cost anything, just simply drop your first and last name at contact, and one of us will reach out to you very briefly, and then we can start getting into conversation. If it's just pure informational, or you would like to inquire a little bit more, or you would like to get into details of how to set up training and everything with us.
all right, Branko, thank you so much for speaking with us today. Enjoy your stay in Malaysia.
No, thank you so much for having me. It was a real pleasure.